Hey everybody, Harry Brailsford here at GlueCon in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am last interview of the day. Thank goodness, it's like 107 degrees. I'm with Fred Voccola from Kaseya, and we're going to have a chat about specifically an acquisition that your firm recently made. Mm-hmm. We've talked in the past of other I think we talked about when you did Unitrends. I believe that was earlier this year, yes. Right, in the spring. Yep. And so most recently you've acquired Rapid Fire Tools. So I want to talk about that. Our audience is familiar with Rapid Fire Tools, so they know who that is. Why?
Sure.
Why did you acquire that?
So a couple of reasons. One of them is Rapid Fire Tools is like a stalwart of the MSP industry. Right? Everyone uses them, and they're very known for their network detective product, which has over 8,000 MSPs.
Isn't that amazing? I remember when they started.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, right? Mike Mattel, the CEO and founder of Rapid Fire Tools, just an amazing guy. He's a great guy. I look forward to working with him and his staff. But so, that's network detective is it's a standard, if you will.
Yeah.
And what Mike and his team have been building over the last several years is how to put more and more revenue-generating applications for MSPs on top of it. And they have an area in security where they released a product called Cyberhawk.
Okay.
And they have another product which came out in the compliance world.
That's
which
right.
Is super sexy.
What like HIPAA and GDPR
and PCI. And even non your FERPA and NERC but even I know there's it's like alphabet hell, right? But even non-governmental regulatory type things. Like ISO. So if you're trying to sell products to certain manufacturers or supply chains of like pharmaceuticals, you have to have certain kinds of ISO certifications to do it. So they've done a great job of building that product line. And that we believe at Kaseya that compliance, it's no longer the burden of the Fortune 500,
right?
The Fortune 5000. It's coming downstream. So small companies, I mean dental practices and like local businesses as well as some mid-sized folks, they need a solution for it, and there really isn't one. So Rapid Fire allows managed service providers to offer a $500, $1,000, a $2,000 a month program to manage a company, monitor and manage a company's compliance. And that is just, it's pure gold for MSPs because it's a very high margin offering and there's not a lot of competition.
Well, and I'm going to offer, say, at the Unitrends, Kaseya is a known quantity in our community, so it sounds like this was maybe filling a gap in your portfolio. Is that fair?
I mean, I hate to use the word gap.
Okay.
But I would say that it's opportunistic. Look, we think that, so Kaseya started years and years ago.
Right.
And still is the largest endpoint management company.
Right.
So we did a pretty significant amount of innovation earlier this year when we took network management and built it as a part of our RMM.
Right.
So people don't, and we offer it at the same low price, so people don't have to buy an Avik or a Logic monitor. You can get it all from one place, so your technician's efficient.
Yeah.
So that's the endpoint. Endpoints are everywhere and they're everything. But what are the next generation of services that the MSP's customers want? Security, compliance, disaster recovery. Those are the three top things we're seeing.
Right.
And with the acquisition of Rapid Fire Tools, we pick up the best MSP-facing compliance solution on the market. And what's nice about it is our MSPs, they only pay us money when they have a paying client. So we're not asking them to make investments, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
On the Unitrend side, it's backup and disaster recovery, which is a compliance requirement, a security requirement, and let's face it, it's a continuity requirement by definition.
Yeah.
So that was pretty substantial, and it's our life is all about having products that our MSPs can build managed services around. So a Kaseya MSP is an MSP that's completely comprehensive in offering everything that their customers want.
Well, let me put a wrapper on that, and then I have one more question. But you and I have talked over a couple of times over the past couple of years. So rewind the clock a little bit. In one of our talks, I was on the ferry outside Seattle. I think you were in New York. My morning, your afternoon. And you talked about how you were going to get Kaseya straight with the MSP community again, if I can be so bold, that you felt maybe they had
lost our way a little
bit. Your words. And so we had that talk, and then I talked to you from Florida with the Unitrends acquisition. I think I was down at the Ingram Cloud Summit,
Yeah.
and I talked to you.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we talked about the disaster recovery and kind of the fit there, and that seemed to make sense. And then this seems to be, synergistic.
Yeah.
Question for you. Where will the team stay in Atlanta, Georgia for rapid fire tools?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the way when we do acquisitions, we're not our strategy is not to buy companies for cost synergy.
Okay.
Now, let's be candid. If by being we're about 1,000 people, a little more than 1,000 people
Yeah,
strong,
yeah.
we'll get better health insurance costs. Like things like
Yeah,
that you take
yeah.
advantage of. But we are buying companies from our selfer standpoint for revenue accretion. Right. We believe that we can be additive on the top line.
Right.
And we are not looking for to buy 3 of the same companies and lay off 70% of the employees, raise prices 30%, and live on the margin. That's
Right.
the Computer Associates old model is not what we're looking at doing. So
Okay.
Rapid Fire remains in Atlanta,
Okay.
the same way that Unitrends remains in Boston and in Columbia, South Carolina. Paul Brady is still the executive who runs that Unitrends business
Okay.
for us. Mike Mattel is the executive who runs our
Right.
compliance, Rapid Fire Tools
Right,
business.
right.
And then we find business and product synergies between the two. So every Kaseya MSP can leverage the Rapid Fire solution. What if it's free? What if it's embedded in the Kaseya solution?
Yeah.
What if we find a 1 + 1 = 3 for our client, and that's really what we're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, every time we talk, there's always news with you. I got to give you that, and if you don't mind, I'm dying out here in the heat.
Let's go back
man.
inside,
Let's
right?
call it good.
Pleasure.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
my man.
you.
Thank you.